Hi everyone. If I sit like this, it looks like I have a lampshade hat. Well, is it going to be a sewing weekend for you? It better be for me. If you've been following me, you know that I have quite a bit of sewing to do before we bid July farewell. This morning I was working on Simplicity 8910. I went to iron the darts toward the center, and I promptly scorched my fabric. I don't know if you can see it on there. It made this big dark stain, and it feels like burnt plastic, which I guess is what it is. And when I held the bodice up to me, I thought that the darts seemed kind of close in. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna cut another bodice. However, I did not have enough fabric to cut it on the fold. So I cut it and put in a front seam, which is fairly minor. I moved those darts out a little bit from the center. I did a poor man's FBA, and by that I mean that when I cut this bodice, I just simply cut out a little bit directly under the armhole seam and back in before the waist seam. And then that gives you just a little bit of room there. You don't have to cut up your pattern pieces or anything. I tried it on and I love the fit of this bodice. They have you do a neck binding out of the fabric. I did not like doing that because I felt, if I did it correctly, I felt like that made such a wide binding. And then the top stitching is real far from the edge to catch in that fold. So I went back to my favorite purchased binding for the armholes. And I'm telling you, I got both of those armholes done in less than 20 minutes. And I was fiddling around with that neck binding for a long time. Well, that's just a little update on that pattern. I have all of the pleating and the skirt to attach. And then that will be 3 done of my 4 dresses. And as you know, maybe you know, I didn't choose, Brad chose this Kwik Sew 3732 jacket pattern to liven things up. I thought I would just do a random pick and sew this by the end of July. So I chose some fabrics. Tell me what you think of these. This is kind of like a burnout velour. It is mauve. It has flowers in the design. It's plain on the other side. And that's the first one. The second one has some sparkles in it. And it's a loose weave, fairly heavy, black and white. I wish those sparkles showed up. What's the other side of this look like? The other side of this is predominantly white. I believe this is the right side. And my third choice is, what is this? This is a little bit like a flannel slash velour. If flannel and velour had a baby, it might be this. This is purple. Has some texture. It's very, very soft. The reverse side looks like that. None of these have stretch. Let's see if this one does. Yeah, it has a little bit of lengthwise stretch. So I think I'm gonna do the long version, which has 4 buttons going down the front. I don't have any waterproof fabric to do a raincoat. I could do khaki, but I wanted something a little more interesting. So it's either going to be this mauve burnout, or it's going to be this black and white sparkle, or purple, soft, heavy, flannelish velour. Now, I did my southern trek on Wednesday to go down to Lidl. I actually shot some footage in Lidl. I'll put it at the end of this. The sound is wonky. I didn't know if I should be, you know, shooting in there. There's nobody in the pictures, but they had an entire display for sewing. It blew my mind. I thought I have to tell my friends. Lidl is featuring sewing as part of their seasonal sale goods. So you can take a look, all kinds of good stuff. I didn't buy any. We're kind of on a budget at this point in time. Brad's got some irons in the fire, business-wise. But we're keeping it a little close to the belt for now, so I only bought food. Ooh, I bought these. Look at this. Oh, gosh. Look at these gorgeous things. The roses were all buy one, get one 50% off. So then I ducked into Joann down in Woodbridge for the Butterick sale. And I got very, very excited. I'll tell you why. First, I'll show you Butterick 6687. This is a tunic with sleeve variations. Love a good tunic. I think I'm gonna sew Carol, my sis, another tunic out of that rayon challis that features green in it. I need to get going on that. Butterick 6566. I picked this up for this little yellow jumpsuit. Gosh, that's cute, isn't it? Here are the line drawings, and I am quite interested in view B. They classify this as easy rather than very easy. Butterick 6316. I missed this one before, but I very much like this seam right here on the bodice, and it curves up ever so gently. Well, I think that gives a very flattering look. So this dress has a couple different panels, and does it have pockets? Wow. I think it does. Yes, it has pockets. Beautiful. And then this just caught my eye. I don't know. I have some pretty chiffons and mesh fabrics, and I thought, well, let's do an overlay. So this is 6553. I don't think I like the overlay being longer in the back, but you can see that you have an option to make it even. And I just thought that was really pretty and different. There are the line drawings. And to finish up Butterick, this is 6624. Not sure I agree with their fabric choice. They've done an Ankara cotton, which is beautiful, but it's a little bit stiff. They suggest cotton blends, challis, crepe, sateen, linen, and broadcloth. That's a really pretty dress. It has fisheye darts in the back and a hemband. I'm quite fond of hembands. So here's why I was excited. I opened their new look drawer, and they had all these old new looks that are long out of print, but there they were. They're $3.99 at Joann, and I scooped them up. 6775. Dresses and tops. That is an old new look. If they put the year on them, I can't see it anyway. Doesn't matter. New look 6787. You get the pants and you get the tops. I love a square neckline. I love cropped pants. Had to bring that one home with me. New look 6763. Look at all of those. You get a jacket with a gathered empire waist, you get a little tank, and you get pants. 6763. Your Joanne might have these too. I was thrilled. 6702. I'm gonna try one of those twist fronts. I have read in reviews that they can be very confusing. And if it's confusing for others, it will definitely be confusing for me. But that's beautiful. And that has long sleeves. I can't believe that we're gonna be thinking about fall sewing. Other than that, I need to be busy all weekend. I'm going to bang out these dresses and get this little jacket sewn. I did sew a top. Let me go get it. Hang on. Well, here's your laugh for the day. I made this Kwik Sew top. I'll put the pattern number up, and it has buttons down the front. So I went and tried it on. Oh look, I even did a little decorative wave around the sleeve hem. I went and tried it on and went to button it, and it was so tight. Well, I trusted the finished garment measurements, and I guess that you really should get out your ruler, your measuring tape, and double check those, because by all intents and purposes, this should have fit just fine, but it was quite tight. So look what I did. I put the buttonholes as close to the edge. The only thing between that edge and that buttonhole is that stitching. I put those buttonholes so darn close to the edge. And I stepped back and I looked at it and I thought, yikes, I don't know about that. So I just sort of hung it. I put it aside and I hung it up. Maybe I'll just finish it and wear those crazy, edgy buttonholes. Why, if there is a disaster to run into, why do I run into every single one? Why did I scorch my bodice? All right, pressing cloth. Here's a reminder, if you're sewing polyester, and this is a very soft polyester, but boy, it burns in a nanosecond. So now I'm using a pressing cloth for the whole rest of this thing. But sometimes, you know, when you have an error, and this one I started over because of that scorch, but then I was able to perfect the darts and get a fit that I really love. So you will be seeing that at the end of July, hoping to make my deadline. I have a lot more patterns to show you. I got new Kwik Sews. Speaking of Kwik Sews, since I'm going to be sewing this Kwik Sew, I just want to put a plug in here that they tend to run large, except for this one. But check those finished garment measurements, because in Kwik Sew, I do often size down. Every pattern, you know, every pattern stands alone. Some of them run big, some of them run small, some of them are perfect. They always come out differently in different fabrics. So sewing is a gamble. No matter how you slice it, it's a gamble. But you know what? We love the gamble. So I hope you have a great weekend. If you're sewing, I'll be sewing right along with you. And that's all for now. I'll talk with you soon. Bye. Well, Lidl is featuring sewing supplies. Can you believe it? They have machine needles for $1.99. That's universal and jeans. They have serger thread
whole bunch of little kits here. Overlock thread, $1.99. They have a sewing storage box. Look at that. That's like 3 levels in there. Here are some more little kits that they've got featuring elastic and bonding tape. And to finish off this aisle is a sewing machine for $79.99. 33 built-in stitches. Check that out. Isn't that great? I am just so impressed that they're featuring sewing. So I just wanted to share that with everybody because you know what? We're making a mark. We are making our mark. Look, here's safety pins. Wow. Oh, they even have the little clips. Those are kind of big, actually. Amazing. Amazing. I